Hi everyone. So last night I posted a reaction to the Ben Shapiro Cenk Uygur debate at Politicon. Got for this channel, it got a lot of reaction. It got a lot of views, a lot of comments, way more than what I'm used to. So thank you for that. Thank you for enjoying my conversation about Ben Shapiro just decimating Cenk Uygur. Really was a pleasure to see, and it was a pleasure to be able to talk about. And thank you for listening to me talk. Now, there's been a lot of debate in the comments on that video about universal health care, and that seems to be the one thing that people think that Cenk was right on and that Ben was wrong on. And of course, there's a lot of nasty comments because socialists are nasty people. But let me tell you, okay, Ben Shapiro is not wrong. Anybody that is against universal health care is not wrong. And it's not that any of us think, poor people deserve to just get sick and die. Nobody thinks that. Literally no one. Ben even said he wants to see private charities work. He wants to bring costs down through the free market, the way costs have been brought down for LASIK surgery, for boob jobs. I mean, anybody, any middle class person could go get a boob job tomorrow. They're not that expensive anymore. Okay? And the reason for that is because insurance doesn't cover it. So people are forced to pay out of pocket. So people shop around for the best price. Prices have to be competitive. And boom, there you go. That's how prices come down in every market, on everything. And healthcare is no different. People that are against universal healthcare are not against it because they don't want to help someone else or they don't want to see other people get life-saving treatment. It's not that at all. Okay? It's just that everything the government touches is poisoned. Everything. If you want to see the downfall that will come from the healthcare system, if we leave it in the hands of the government, all you have to do is look at the public school system. Public schools are a failure. They cost way too much money and they deliver a far inferior product. Now, we do have private schools. Private schools spend way less money per student than public schools and offer a much higher education because they have to be competitive. They not only have to be competitive against other private schools, they have to be competitive against the public schools that don't have to make a profit and that are spending way, way, way more money than they are. So when you look at the public education system and you translate that to healthcare, okay, all you're doing is advocating for the government to take away your right to choose. Okay, you don't get to choose what school your children go to unless you want to pay to send them to private school. You don't get to choose where to send your children to school, and you're not going to get to choose your doctors. You're not going to get to choose your hospitals. You're going to have an assigned hospital where you have to go. You're going to have, just like you have an assigned school where you have to go. And even if, okay, Cenk talked a lot about a Medicare Advantage program where we have this Medicare for all system, and if you have money, you're free to pay extra to go to a private clinic. They have that in Canada. The problem with that is that only the very, very rich can go there. Only the very, very rich can send their kids to private schools. Now, there are some middle class families that scrimp and save and work their fingers to the bone and live in poverty because they spend all their money sending their kids to private school. So yeah, there are some people that do that, but why would they do that? Why would somebody spend money they didn't need to spend and don't really have to send their child to private school? Well, because the public schools suck, because the public schools are inferior, because it's worth it to them to pay that extra money to give their kid that advantage, to give their kid that extra little leg up in life that they get from going to private school. And we're going to end up in the same position. Only the very, very rich will be able to afford to go to a private clinic, okay? And then we might have people that are living destitute because they are saving the money to go to a private clinic that they really can't afford because the government healthcare sucks. Just like the government education sucks, okay? I mean, it's that old adage, you get what you pay for. You really do get what you pay for, especially in healthcare. It boggles my mind that people don't understand this. And not only do they not understand this, but the arrogant little fucks, that support Cenk, and Cenk's one of them. Cenk did this to the audience. He said, well, I can't believe you idiots just don't understand. No, moron, you're the one that doesn't understand. We understand universal health care perfectly. It sucks, it's substandard, and we don't want it. Yes, we need to fix our healthcare system, absolutely, but the way to do that is to get the government out of it. Get the government out of our healthcare. Let the free market prevail. Get insurance. We need to wean people off of insurance. This is a fundamental flaw with the entire insurance system. You're not paying for what you're getting, so you don't care what it costs. So the doctors and the hospitals can charge whatever they want to. And then, of course, that's going to make insurance premiums go up because now the insurance companies have to pay higher fees to the doctors because they're artificially inflated. Right now, insurance is artificially inflated in this country. Now, car insurance is relatively cheap. Why is car insurance relatively cheap? Well, first of all, because you don't use it for every sniffle and cough that your car has. People should not be going to the doctor and going to the hospital for the common cold. Drink some orange juice, stay in bed, tough it out. It's gone in 2 days. You don't need to go to the doctor for that. You don't need to go to the doctor for every sniffle and every cough, but people do. And why do they? Because somebody else is paying for it. And that's only going to get worse under a universal healthcare system. Nobody wants to see people die. Nobody wants to see people not given the life-saving care that they deserve. All we're asking is to be able to retain our choice and to get the best quality for the best price. And the only way to do that is with the free market. The only way to do that is for people to be invested, not just in the quality of care that they're getting, but in the cost that they're paying for that care. That is the way you fix the healthcare system. That's what Ben Shapiro knows. And, Cenk is the one that doesn't understand. You universal healthcare nut jobs are the ones that don't understand. All you're doing is you're begging for a lower quality at a higher cost. Now, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a higher cost to you, but it's going to be a higher cost to the country. It's going to bring down the standard of living for everyone. And it's going to wreak havoc on the economy. It's bad. It's bad. Okay. Public schools are bad. Public hospitals will be worse. And you know why? Because if you go to a public school just to satisfy some legal requirement so your parents don't go to jail, you can still get a high quality education on the internet. If you do that to our healthcare system, there's nowhere you can go to not die. We have single payer healthcare system in this country. It's called the VA. And right now, veterans are dying, waiting in line to get rationed health care. It's bad. We don't need it. We don't want it. There are better ways to do this. You just have to open your mind and stop expecting the government to do everything. The government sucks at everything. The government is fundamentally bad at its job. Do you really want the people that have run the United States Postal Service into the ground in charge of your health care? Come on now. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Those are my thoughts on universal health care. Be sure to find me on Facebook, Will Abbott Critic, and find me on Twitter at Will Abbott. And go check out my other channel, Till the Last Credit, where I talk with 3 other guys about movies and entertainment stuff. And yeah, thanks for listening and have a nice day.